Gentleman and lady. Lady being my sister. She probably watches one of these once in blue moon. Early June 1861, as you saw from the last iteration of this video, we did take Harper's Ferry. Let's look at the battle statistics here. So we pretty much wiped him out, although he's still in the region. We actually didn't suffer too bad of casualties going across the river, not having a platoon or a pontoon bridge. We did get a river crossing penalty, obviously, but just sheer numbers is what allowed us to win that. So not too much to focus on here. And no general, and we made our activation roll. So, anyways, I'm now taking pretty much everything I've got and throwing it in Harper's Ferry. The reason being is I want to hold it, and I don't know if he's going to try and take him out with Johnston. And so I'm taking this guy here, moving him up to Pittsburgh, because again, as I talked about earlier, Pittsburgh is a very important area over in kind of the western, like central Union, western part of the East. I don't know how you call this, but sending him over there. I'm sending Patterson up there too because he's just a garbage waste of a general. Don't ever promote him to 3 stars. It's just not worth it. He's a one strategy general, and once you promote him, make him an army commander, you can't remove him. So there, I'm moving Mansfield over to Harper's Ferry with 3 brigades of volunteers and then a 12-pound artillery piece, which is nice. I'm going to move these supply wagons kind of elsewhere once I get to Harper's Ferry, but right now I just want to consolidate. I'm also moving Stone up to Harper's Ferry. He's got cavalry and then 2 conscript elements. I'm going to upgrade this guy, so I'll put him in there. Well, not upgrade, get him that replacement shit. Put there, and then this guy's kind of digging in DC. And then what I'm really doing for the rest of my movements, I have 1 artillery piece back here in New York. I'm moving it to Harper's Ferry, so that I have 2 artillery pieces in Harper's Ferry. And then I'm moving various elements to this area here, just northwest of DC, then north of that, and then reinforcing Frederick, Maryland. Frederick, Maryland for the supply, obviously, because that's my rail line to Harper's Ferry. But then these other areas, so I can build redoubts to further bolster my defenses west of DC in case he tries to go up to the Shenandoah and do an end around DC in like October. So build that. I also got some more ships, so I'm sending 4 ship elements here in between DC and Alexandria to make it really difficult for him to cross over from Alexandria into DC. I'm moving a cavalry unit to Baltimore to start getting that loyalty up and that policing up, so I'm putting him in there. I'm also moving a transport down here to Fort Monroe to pick up Butler, because as you can see here, he's got this hated occupant. So when he's in command of a stack, this leader applies martial law with extreme severity. So in other words, he's going to up the loyalty within a particular province over time. So I'm going to stick him in Baltimore with a cavalry unit to hopefully bolster loyalty there. Then I got Farragut, who unlocked, and I'm going to send him. Where's he at? Right there. So that's what he's got. He's got 4 steam frigates, then a couple of brigs, and then some transports. I'm sending him down to the shipping lanes to hopefully disrupt what he's got going on down here, and also get a transport. I'm trying to get a transport attached to the other fleet that I have down here, and then put the other transport into the shipping merchant ships here, which starting next turn I'm going to start building transports and merchant ships to start populating this shipping lane, which will increase the money that comes in over time. Alright, so I think that's everything to report up here. There's one event here. Colonel Elmer Ellsworth was a flamboyant and popular commander of the 11th New York Fire Zouaves Regiment. He's also a close family friend of Lincoln. On May 24th, Union forces crossed the Potomac and captured Alexandria. Ellsworth decided to capture a large, prominent CSA flag flying above a hotel. Descending from the roof with the flag, Ellsworth was ambushed and killed by the hotel owner, James Jackson. Jackson was then killed by Ellsworth's troops. Instantly, the North and the South had their first martyrs. Ellsworth's body lay in state in the East Room of the White House. The next man to be so honored would be Lincoln in 65. All right. Now, things are a little thin over in West Virginia, but it's kind of as planned. Usually what will happen is by wintertime, if he hasn't pulled out of here, he's going to be kind of isolated and stuck. And then what I could do is just use the rail lines, either from the north here or west to east, to take him out. So he probably will pull out of there by winter. And if he doesn't, then that might be foolish. Although, who knows? I am kind of vulnerable up in this area. But if he pushes up north, then I can easily cut him off. So I don't think he's going to do that. I did decide to move my. Well, I was going to move this boat up here, actually. Never mind. I decided to keep him up there because, jumping over here real quick, Foot is now available. So I'm going to bring him down and put him where I was going to put that other tugboat. So, or gunboat. So he's there. And then I am moving forward. So he did destroy the town that's down here. So clearly he's turtling himself in Missouri. I think what he's going to do, he destroyed that. He's going to try and destroy these forts, which I'm moving some cavalry up here. He's probably going to try and destroy these forts and then make it so that getting to Springfield is a long journey and one that's not easy. I'm going to move on Jefferson, Missouri. I'm trying to get that secure. That way I can at least secure this front. I'm going to move also on him here because he's along this rail line. So let's see what I can do that. I don't have, a whole lot of forces over here at the moment. So Wallace, I'm moving him with his these mounted volunteers and a cavalry unit on this guy, this militia guy. And then I'm moving Milroy with Lyon with some volunteers on Jefferson. So hopefully that's enough to take that out. Besides that, I don't think, let's see here. So I do have some units unlocked over here. And I think what I'm going to do is move them down on western Arizona and try and secure that because I like having that redoubt secure. And then moving all my forces forward to reinforce that. And then it's a nice springboard for future actions. And I'm just going to do that with all my units. So, all right. So I've got these guys here, and then what is this unit here? Okay, so I want him on that, protecting the mines. I'm not going to really be building any troops in Colorado. I built this guy here last turn, or maybe it was this turn. Really for the policing action, so I can keep trying to get loyalty up on this as soon as possible. Because the thing is, with these mines, they produce 10,000 cash per turn, but only if your loyalty is 50% or higher. And it's only at 55% for all of these. I have 3 of them. There's this one here, and there's 2 over here. There's one in Nevada, and then there's one down here in Northern California. So it's really important to have that loyalty up, above the 50% threshold. The 2 ways to do that is, 1, put troops inside the town that have high policing, like cavalry, or use your habeas cards to bolster loyalty there. So I'm going to keep a close eye on that. If he starts using cards on these to lower my loyalty in these areas, then I'll have to start playing some of my cards to counteract that. Another thing that people often do, and I'll probably do it here, is build a flatboat on Southern California, and that'll pull supply forward down to Western Arizona. So I'll probably do that next turn. And then I got this guy. I don't think these ships ever unlock, but I'll probably do that next turn. Put a flatboat here. And actually, honestly, these guys are going to move at different speeds, so 51 days, 58, yeah, not too big of a deal, but still, when you're in a race against time, it makes sense. Alright, I think it's all the guys I can move. I'll put him here, just for the policing. and I always put them on green when they're moving, and I don't have any chance of running into the enemy because actually this guy would be really good for policing. I'll put him on that spot. Put him in town. Where's this guy? Try and get him all the way down. So long run, I get it, but it is what it is. I might end up redirecting these guys to Colorado. I might think about that, but anyways, for now that'll be preliminarily what I'm gonna do. Builds, here we go. Really, as you can see, artillery in Missouri. A couple of these are for the redoubts, obviously. These other ones are going to be 6-pounders that are defense. These these Delawares are 6-pounders. These New Jersey ones are 10-pounders. And then, as you can see, some investments in the replacements. And then money, we're pretty much out. We spent all our money and our conscripts. I'm still debating printing money. I still might do that next turn, depending on where we're at. And then I'm investing in armories. So here's why. So there's a couple states that, unless you have an armory or an arsenal in those states, you can't build artillery for those states. So as far as I can, well, not as far as I can tell. I can tell I can't build any artillery in Vermont or Rhode Island at the moment. Let me show you. So no Rhode Island, no Vermont, no Rhode Island, no Vermont. So theoretically, which I guess we'll find out in a little bit, when I build these armories in Rhode Island and Vermont, I should be able to build artillery out of those states. So just something to keep a lookout for when you're playing the game. If there's particular states you can't build artillery out of, it's probably this is why. Armories, you don't have armories or arsenals in those states. I think that's everything I need to show you. See if he did anything. I don't think he did anything of note. I think I went through this already. Yeah, I think I wrote this right. I'm going to send this over to Josh, and then we'll be back to see how things went.
Alright, so the turn's been run. I noticed going back and looking at some of my videos, some of them are kind of long. I'll try to make things a little quicker. Also, I noticed that when I click on like a certain event or something, or it'll make like a really loud noise and you can't hear me. Like for instance, if I was clicking on this event, it's very loud. I'll try not to do that so much, and if I have to, then I'll try just not to speak during it, because I noticed that couldn't speak, or you couldn't hear me when I was speaking. Anyway, we ran the turn. There's only one battle. He took Harper's Ferry, which, you know, that was a long time coming, in my opinion. But the way I like to play is I pretty much go west to east. So just to give you a heads up on what's going out here, I'm still trying to get this guy to Tucson so I can burn it and get out of there. I'm burning this fort, and then I'm going to leave and go to this fort. I'm building my forces up here. Of course, still bringing in Shelby. And in a couple of turns or so, this force should be good to go, and then I'm moving on to Fort Craig. I just realized that if this goes under siege, I might need some supplies, so I'm probably going to build a wagon here as well. Perhaps, I guess it just depends on what's going on up here. I think I'll have to, though. I'm really kind of taking a huge gamble here, just trying to go all out and get rid of this force now. If I can do that, burn this fort, get these forts and burn them, then most of these troops here I can probably just move over to the east. It'll probably take a while to get there, but I can move them, and the west, far west, will pretty much be safe, I think. Come up to my Rangers. I'm going to do some fort burning. I'm going to take these 4 forts if I can, or stockades, I guess, if I can, burn them, and then I'm going to try to take these four, these three, um, maybe try to burn these as well. But usually I'll take this, I'll burn it, and then move on to the next one. It takes a couple of turns because I think it takes 15 turns to burn a stockade. Once I take them, I'm just moving them out though. I'll leave one ranger behind just to go to each one and burn it and get rid of it because I think I need to get these rangers kind of over here in this area to help out. Because more importantly is to try to get a buffer zone here, um, so that it'll be difficult. Like he'll have to take Springfield before he can come to Fayetteville. Otherwise, if you have Springfield, he can kind of just go down these forts and go around. You're gonna have to retreat anyway. So I'm gonna try to take these forts. I got Price here, got a force. I'm gonna try to take this fort. It probably ain't gonna happen. He's probably gonna get these troops here down there before I can. Um, I'm hoping cavalry can take this stockade. I'll burn this one. I'm sending a couple of militia units here, and eventually I'm going to burn that. I'll try to take this as well. Um, got my commander coming in. I'm taking one of these artillery pieces and bringing it up here because there's no other way for me to dig in past a certain level of entrenchment. By the way, you can't do that unless you have artillery. You can only entrench so far. So I got that there, and I'm leaving a force here with an artillery piece as well. Got this Arkansas unit building. Decided to do that so I can put some good troops up in here. I'll take the volunteers out, militia eventually, and move them over here to get them trained up once I get that commander that trains. Down in New Orleans, so I've decided, I noticed that he did not, I think he didn't raise taxes. He issued war bonds and didn't raise taxes. So I feel like I can do this. On my interior, I'm going to build the ironworks because you need it for your war supply for the rest of the game. But I think I'm going to try this. I'm going to build some arsenals because arsenals bring in cash. Now, my math, I don't know where you get 2 arsenals and 4 armories. Each armory will give you 1 cash, and arsenal will give you 2 cash, and of course they give supply as well. 4 of them are in LA, Louisiana, and then you got 1 that's going to go here in Mobile, or Mobile. I don't really plan on defending Mobile, so hopefully it's an armory and not an arsenal, because he'll probably take it. And then the ironworks, 2 of them are in New Orleans and 1's over in Virginia. So, I mean, this is going to be a spot I need to hold on to for a while. And just to get the return on that investment, I need to hold it just to break even, like almost 2 years. So, I'm taking a chance on it. The reason I'm doing the arsenals is because he didn't do his taxes, so he doesn't have the extra money now, so he's not going to be raising the extra troops. So I feel like may not have to put money into that as well. So hopefully it'll work out in the long run. Like I'll at least keep New Orleans till 64 or 65 or so, and I'll continue to get the money for it. So I'm already building up my telegraph lines to make more money and get more supply. So this is going to be a hot area. So I got him. I went ahead and built another brigade because I'm going to be trying to defend this area. I mean, as a South, you just can't defend everywhere. You know, I'm not going to put anything here in Mobile. As I mentioned before, I'm just hoping Kentucky stays neutral for as long as possible. That way there's no threat coming through this area. At the end of the day, I know I have to hold up here in Chattanooga. I don't want to get into Atlanta. So, I mean, I don't know how things are going to turn out, but I don't see me holding Western Tennessee for very long. If I'm building troops in New Orleans, maybe we'll see. Depends on what he does. If I can get couple of divisions down here in New Orleans, and I don't see him. We'll just see. I have to keep an eye on where his troops are. Nothing much really happening here. Just those troops. I'm taking one down to Savannah and start digging in there because I'm going to try to hold on to Savannah and Charleston. I'm not going to defend Wilmington, and he's probably going to come for it. Last time he played Union, he came down here and took it and kind of threatened up through this area. Up here, I'm still locked. All the troops I'm building kind of in Virginia, I'm kind of moving towards here so they can get under the training guy and start training up and become better troops. Now the only battle there was here at Harper's Ferry, you know. Let's see. So, I mean, against my 450 man regiment of militia, he threw in, like regular army troops, about 3,500 or a little more than 3,500. I mean, all things considering, I think we did pretty well, killing 123 of their guys. A lot of them were their Marines. So that, I mean, they did pretty well for that fight. I mean, I didn't expect them to win something against that. I didn't expect him to gather his whole force and take it. He really didn't need it. But anyway, they got pushed out. So they're retreating back to Winchester, and I'm just pulling these guys out of Winchester because I can't put nothing up there right now, and it's just going to be another militia unit. I'm pretty sure he's going to come from Winchester, if not this turn, the next turn. So, I mean, I might as well just pull him out. I don't want this general getting killed. That's pretty much it. I'll run the turn, and I'll see you in a minute. Alright, so I ran the turn. Not too much happened, but I'll go through it west to east. Hindsight now, I should have sent a cavalry unit over here. I don't think this guy's going to make it before this cavalry unit. Plus he's taken so long and he's almost out of food. So I think I'm just going to have to pull him back or just leave him here for maybe this turn. I'm toying with the idea of sending 3 cavalry regiments over there to knock his one out, then burn it. We'll see. I'm not going to move them until they're full cohesion, though, if I do that. Got this guy popped up here, but they're stuck here for 8 turns. And I think their guys are stuck for 8 as well. That's why I'm taking this gamble. I'm going to try to pin him in there. And then see if I can besiege it. And hopefully they'll surrender, but we may have to fight. And hopefully I'll win it. I think I'm going to build that. I'm probably going to go after this next turn. When he runs the turn, the next turn I'm going to go up there. So next turn I'll probably build a wagon and then get it up there while it's besieged. Up here, no, right there. Up here, my Rangers took all 4 forts without a fight. I'm leaving him to burn this one. I'm moving these guys on to here, here, and here. And I'm just going to have this guy here come down and burn the rest of them. I'm just going to leave this one, leave these up here. If he takes the time and effort to build a couple of forts here and try to get troops over there, you know, that's just fine by me. In fact, I almost kind of want to leave a little bit of stuff here, so he may even toy with the idea of it. Because if you destroy all the forts, he's not going to bring any troops over here, which is the idea. But I'm sending these guys here. I got 3 more Rangers building up their cohesion. I'm going to take these. and then I'm sending all my Rangers down to this area because it looks like we're going to need it. There was one battle this turn. We got whipped pretty badly. I'll tell you why that is here in just a second. Um, it looks like he came down. He took Jefferson City. I expected him to do that. He's got this guy here. I don't know if they're going to make a push on Springfield right now, but if they do, I think I'm fine. He's just got a regiment there and a militia and cavalry there. I don't really see much here. Looks like he's building some units up. That's fine. He left this guy here. I can't see this area. I'm taking another gamble. I'm going to try to take it. So the battle happened right here. I sent two of my cavalry regiments, which they're pretty much conscripts and early cavalry and conscripts. That one's early cavalry. This one's conscripts. So that means they're pretty much they're better than militia, but not as good as regular troops. And I was watching the turn when it ran. So when you run the turn, you can kind of see what's going on in the map. His looks like it actually I took this fort initially, and then his Rangers came in, and I guess these two must have came in at the same time, and they pushed me out and took it back. I don't know how that happened unless he was on assault posture, which maybe he was. But briefly I took it, and then I got beat pretty badly. I'll bring up the battle here. I had 1,170 men. He had 750. But again, you got to remember these are Rangers, and actually that's early cavalry too. I don't know why it shows just one though. He's got 3 units in the battle. Here's one. Unless one of them came in after and just joined. Either way, we didn't do very well. Looks like his Rangers took most of the hits on his side. Suffered some cohesion. And then this one did pretty well. He inflicted 2 hits on me and didn't suffer any. They lost 76 men. I lost 215. I got pushed out. So it is what it is. I don't know why I got beat that badly, seeing I had already took the fort and I was in there first. It may have been that I was on assault, they were on the fence. I don't know. I mean, the turn kind of ran pretty fast. I don't know what happened, but I do know I saw this as CSA, and then it went back to Union. So I just don't see how this worked. But anyway, there's nothing really I can do about that. I put building up another brigade in here. I'm building up some more cavalry here. I got this guy in Little Rock. He's locked in here for another turn. I'm bringing over some of my transport ships. I mean, if you can use these here's the thing, like if you can use these transport ships to get up and down these rivers, and instead of using rail points as much as you can, use it because it's free. There's no cost to moving these transports around. So I'm moving them here. I'm going to move them up to Memphis. That'll probably be my force that's going to kind of hold in this area. And then I'm going to try and move some of my guys, not by rail, but over here if I can. You don't want to use rail if you don't have to, in my opinion, because it's kind of a waste of money if you don't need it. Kentucky's still good. I got this guy right here, building up an army, and once he's free, I'm going to march him here, and whenever Kentucky comes in play, he's going right here, and he's camping here. I'm going to be bringing a lot of forces here, because you don't want them to take Bowling Green, because that's the only region you can get Kentucky troops out of, and there's a lot of Kentucky troops, so you want to hold this and get out as many as you can. Like, you might not be able to hold it to get all the troops out. There's so many brigades and regiments you can form out of there. So you want to keep that. West Virginia His militia unit took Parkersburg. Um, I'm sending my cavalry. These guys freed up after this turn, but so does his. I think. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna go try to take that back. I may plunder the area, get some money out of it, bring him back over here, and then maybe in 2 or 3, 4 turns, I'm gonna plunder this area and get out. I may have to get out before then because I'm running out of supply. Um, these guys are not locked anymore. I'm keeping some here. I'm taking Lewisburg here. I'm bringing a supply wagon just in case I need to feed some of these guys. Um, Again, like I said in the beginning of the game, I'm gonna kind of put up my defensive lines here. So over the winter, like I'm gonna burn the city. I don't think I can burn this one, but I'm just gonna set up defense right here. You don't want to spread out too thin, so I just don't feel like I can hold all this. And if he brings troops down here, I'll try to deal with it. He didn't go on Winchester. I probably would have. And to be honest with you, he plays more aggressive than me. So if I had this whole force here, I would have gone for it because I know this guy was locked until next turn. I would have taken it. I don't know why I didn't take it. But then again, he didn't take Harper's Ferry either for 3 turns. So I'm moving him back. These guys are building up. I forgot to put some chits into my elite infantry, so I put some in there this time, so he should build up his forces pretty good, and this will probably be 500, 600, 700 man force next turn. Not man force, but that's just the power number. I think it goes based on like the quality of the troops, manpower, a lot of different factors. Of course, I'm moving some troops up to Manassas. I'm just keeping Beauregard in the city because I don't want to take him out and lose the training bonus my support gives. I don't think he's going to move on it. If he does, it'll be besieged, and if I have to, I'll just rail Johnson over here, and they'll both attack him at the same time. They'll probably win. So I doubt he's going to try to move on Manassas next turn. Keeping this guy in Richmond. I may move him out. In fact, I think I'm going to move him out because these guys are here. So I forget which month it is this year, but you get a guy. His name's Cooper, and he can train up units, but you only have them for like 2 or 3 or 4 turns. So you want to have some troops here to train up, and I think it's no more than 3 turns. So I mean, I have, and he'll train up 2 at a time. So I got 2 here, I got 2 here, and I know there's a couple of militia units I'm gonna rail up here. So that'll be good. So before I send this over, I'm probably gonna move this 15th Virginia Brigade out and put them somewhere. These guys I'm moving around. Huger's force that showed up here. I'm moving the general up here, but I'm moving the forces here. That's gonna stay the same. One good thing did go right this turn is I got out of there unscathed. Got past the fort, got past the ships. There was no battle, so that's good. I got him out of there, and actually, it says in the battles, our naval patrols have failed to engage the enemy transport in the area of Hampton Roads. So I wasn't trying to engage the enemy, so I didn't fail, but I think it's just assuming I wanted to attack or something. I don't know. That's pretty much it. I'll run it to Tim, and then we'll see what happens.